Hi guys, Ronda Winstead here with you. Hello, hello, hello. It is good to see you. I am excited to be actually working on a project. This is one that I started with the last video where we're doing an ephemera holder, and I hope that you are joining me in this process. Yeah, a lot of work, but a lot of fun. And what a great way to get yourself a little more organized with your personal ephemera, with your digitals, with whatever it is that you're doing that way. So, hello to everyone. I love you. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you feel good. So, let's get started. Okay. So, when last video, I just had one or two of these done, and then I mentioned to you that how many I was doing, and I will put the link for that video. It's towards the end of the video for you so that you can go back and take a look at that and at the sizes and whatnot. But just to reiterate, this is 8 inches wide and 10 inches high, this particular ephemera book that I'm making. And I have gone ahead and stitched all of my pages. I have put them in order, and I kind of want to show you how I did that. It can be a little tricky, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, you can make it as simple as you want. And this is just an idea. You know, take from this and make it your own. Okay, so this is my center page. And I wanted for my book to open up so that it showed the same pages when it was open. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. There again, I have eight double pages I've created, which means I did 16 because each one is backed, right? So you have 8 double pages so that when we put them together, you know, this gives you actually 4 pages of ephemera holding capability. Okay, so to do it like I did, I just was going to show you quickly, you know, kind of how I did it. And if you have like the same, and I did 2 of each color. I just went through some of my scrapbooking papers that you know, I mean, I just have lots of scrapbooking papers that I really don't use much anymore. And I thought that this was a good, fun way to do it. So I just did pastel colors, kind of Eastery. I'm thinking in terms of Easter because I had just cut out a whole bunch of Rachel's Roxy Creation, her digitals, her Easter bunnies and chickens and stuff like that. Okay, so for my center, just kind of did it this way, put it together, and then I backed it on one side and then pulled the other one in so that that would match. Okay, and I did 8 on this side and then turned it back when I had done 8, and then I did 8 on this side. I know it's a little bit weird, it's a little bit tricky, and I found that I moved them around a little bit because sometimes when I did the first 8, those matched really well on this side, and then when I flipped it to do the other 8, some of what I had left was a bit the same, and so I went ahead and did the 8, and then what I did so that this was still my center. Then what I did was kind of did this and pulled it up, and then I would do one from each side. So, okay, I like this, for instance, and then I'll back it with this, and then I'd come over to this side, and I'd do the same over here. So sometimes when I would run into one that was like the very same, then I'd take it and switch it with one over here. Anyway, I don't know if that's more confusing for you or not. And you know, honestly, it really doesn't matter because you're just going to put ephemera in it. It's not going to be it doesn't have to be this, oh, grand whatever. It's just a fun ephemera holder. So the pages don't even have to, you know, they don't have to match at all. Okay, so that being said, now you have to look at a couple of different things. Do you want to put some edgings on it? Do you want to make it a little more decorative? Do you want to add some fabric strips to it? Do you want to, you know, do you want to do something like this? And then you could either glue or stitch that down and just do some kind of fun little edgings. Doesn't have to match. It could be eclectic. It could be whatever. This would also be a good time to put some washi tapes. You know, use up some of the washi tapes that you have to do some edgings on there. That could be really cool too. For this purpose, now I may go ahead and do that on my sides and the bottoms and whatnot, the tops, whatever. But for now, I just want to get this kind of together, and then we will make a cover, you know, for it. So here's the key. Once you have your 2 pages that you want, then you either want to glue them together or you want to stitch around so that they are 1 page. If you want, you could even keep this open, and this could be a pocket to put other things inside. I'm not going to do that because my purpose is to have everything show. And I'm afraid if I have it inside here, I'll forget that it's even there and won't use it. But it's certainly an idea, you know, it's certainly something that you could do. So that would be up to you. So I am going to go ahead and stitch up 2 or 3 of these. You can either stitch or glue them, like I said. And then I'll be back and we'll work on putting the pages together, what we want to connect them with. Okay, so I'm going to put this on pause and I shall return. Okay, so I have stitched my first, let's get them in the right order. I've stitched my first 2 together, and I will tell you that what I do is I increase my stitch length. I did for this part because you're stitching, you know, through quite a bit of layering. And then I always take a bone folder or press, fabric press, on the side that I have stitched, the opposite side that I have stitched on, and I do this on my edges, and that kind of brings the nub. There's a little bit of poking that comes up, especially with your plastic or your papers or whatever, and it just kind of smooths it a little bit. I just like it better. Okay, so Okay, now what we want to do, and it's always a good thing, guys, check your pockets. You always want them to go, the open side is to the top. It would be a sad thing to put them together and half of your book is upside down. Keep that in mind. And as you're working, be careful about that. Okay, so those are the first two done. So I am ready to put my first page together. And for my first page, let me just move these carefully. We'll just kind of set them up out of the way, but keep them in order, because you've taken the time and effort. Make sure they're facing the right way. Now, you can put your book together using paper. You can use fabric. I am going to use fabric for mine. And I would recommend a really strong, if you're using paper, use, like the priority mail envelopes that you buy, the airmail type, that paper fabric, whatever that's made of, that is just really, really strong and sturdy. Those could be used nicely for this as well. You don't want a thin, you want something that's very sturdy to put your book together. And you're going to do it in kind of a fun way. And I'll show you as we progress with this. I am using, this is an old feed sack, actually. Proctoria, something. It's from Mexico. So very cool. I love the coloring. I love this. And so I have been using this for a few projects, and I will just cut and fray. And for this, I don't have a lot of strength in my hands right now, but let's see. I may have to adjust. That may not be wide enough. Da, 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 da. The idea is I'm just going to cover that, and I'm going to stitch that down, and I'm going to put these close together. Okay. I'm going to cut another one because that one I think is just a little bit too narrow. So we'll just do another one. And I'm not cutting these ahead of time either, because each time we do this, the width is going to move out. And so this is going to need to be larger too. The center one is the closest. That's the only one where the pages are going to really kind of almost butt up against each other. Okay? And so you can take the time, you can iron this, you can whatever you want with this. I know most of you are not ironers. You are journalers. We are journaling. We are ephemering. We are creating. Okay, so I want that double, because it's going to go on the back side too. And I'll cut that just a little bit more than what I need. Then I'm going to get my glue stick and I'm going to get a straight edge. Let's put that up so you can see this part. I'm going to get a little bit of a straight edge so that these line up, okay? And where's my glue stick? Right here, right here. I'm just going to glue down the center. A little bit sticky, that's okay. I should probably put this on a, have another thing underneath it because it's going to get glue on my mat board. But we are just, this is real time. We're doing it, guys. You're doing it with me, hopefully. Okay, so now we will carefully, carefully flip that over. And we will do this. This. And we will bring this down. Okay. Okay. First double pages put together. Now, obviously, if you're just gluing, you will have, you know, glue of your choice, what you trust to be nice and sturdy. You will make sure that you've got both edges down really, really nicely. Okay. And so this isn't perfect, but that's okay. So you'll see it'll fold just like that. And the first one will be done. We've got our inner pages. So let me go ahead and stitch this up and we shall return. Okay, so we have stitched and it's not perfect. I'm not trying to be a perfectionist on this. I'm just trimming off my threads because that's what quilters do. Even former quilters. Okay, so we have our first page ready to go in our ephemera holder. All right, now I want to show you the process, and let's see, for our next two pages. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch. I'm going to stitch up my next two pages and then she said, and this is what I'm doing, guys. I didn't show you on the first one, but I will show you on this one. To stitch them together, I'm just using my glue stick to just make sure they're nice and put together. And over here, we'll do the same thing. Thus and such. And And I have to thank everybody, you guys, your comments on my video that I put up yesterday. I have just been blown away by your sweetness. You're just, oh gosh, I love you guys so much. You're just amazing, just amazing. And I I never ever want anybody to think that I don't appreciate your comments or that I take for granted your prayers or any of that. I'm so humbled and just so grateful. Okay, so, and you can go ahead, if you want to do it that way, you can go ahead and glue your pages, together, ready to sew or to glue permanently. Well, duh. If you're gluing, you're going to glue it as you go. Yeah, Rhonda. Duh, Rhonda. Okay, so I will go ahead and stitch these next two, and then I want to show you how we increase our gaps to make sure that our book pages end up together over here. They get fatter and fatter as we grow the book. But it's not a difficult process. You can absolutely do it. So I'm going to put you on pause again for a minute and keep working, keep working. Okay, so now I have my next two pages ready to go. So we'll just set these here. And again, I'll move these off carefully, just trying to make it so you can see what I'm doing here. And here again, double check, always double check. Make sure your pockets are open to the top. I want you to be successful with this, guys. This is important. Okay, now, as you can see, the bulk, I want to keep these edges pretty much the same. It doesn't matter if they're a little bit out, that's okay. But as you can see, we have already increased. Now we have this amount of fabric. So we need at least, I would say a quarter of an inch or 3/8 of an inch plus a quarter, a half. I'm going to go about one inch for this next strip. And I'm just eyeballing it again. But this is why I don't cut these ahead of time, because I want to make sure that each one fits as I'm going. And I'm not trying to make this a super fast, get her done now. And I take into consideration the ragging, the edging, the little leftovers. And so I keep that in mind too. So let's just kind of take off some of our little frayed bits. And if we don't get it perfect, that's okay. That's okay. This is just a way to kind of set the stage, if you will. And here again, I'm sort of putting this in the middle here, right? So I'm needing about a quarter of an inch, 3/8 of an inch width in between. So let's just go like there-ish. There-ish. And let's do something else too. Just one sec. Hello. Let's just bring in a little piece of paper so that we don't glue onto my mat board. How about that? Yeah, my mat. My mat board. Okay. So now I will glue down one side and glue the other, and obviously I'm kind of messy with that, so we'll sort of work with that. And we'll just, we'll just start. Let's see, let's just trim that off just a little bit. And this time I'm going to try to come down, definitely come down, trying to go down the center, okay? And it's not perfect. There again, it's not perfect, and that's okay. And then we're going to carefully bring it over. And oops, and that wasn't very good that we did there. Trying to be about the same. And we'll glue here. Okay, so let's just there again. Okay. And if you're just gluing, then voila, you are done with that page. But since I'm not just gluing and I'm stitching, now I will take this and I will stitch my next 2 pages, and then let's see how well we did as far as making it. I hope it'll work. I hope I'm not doing this and then you guys are going to be like, okay, well, there's another way not to do it. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how well we did or didn't do, guys. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. All right. Not too bad. A little bit loose there, but not too bad at all. Okay. I'm happy with that. It's not perfect. I should have taken it out just a teeny bit more. It looked like I did better towards the bottom than the top. But that is, that's your basic process, guys, to put your pages together. And then when we get them all together, we are going to stitch right down the center, or we are going to either machine stitch or hand stitch like we would, a regular signature. Okay, so, and when we do that part, of course, we'll have them, and each one will be out a little further and a little further, so that the outer pages, once they fold over, they try to keep in line. So I think, my dear, wonderful people, I think that we will call that a video for this time. Keep working on it. I'm going to keep working on it, and I will come back. The next video, I will show you how we'll put all of the pages together. So just repeat what I showed you. Just keep increasing, and yeah, so I'm excited, and I would love to see if some of you actually do this. I'll put this up on my Instagram, the link here, and link me if you do Instagram, as so that I can see your work. I would love that too. All right, love you guys. Thank you again for joining me, Have the most amazing rest of the day, evening, night, morning, whatever time it is that you're viewing this video, whatever part of the world that you live in. Just know I love you, and look forward to doing, I think there'll be another one or two videos to finish this up, and then I'm excited. So all right, keep going. See you soon.